everyone. Welcome to today's discussion on diversity, equity, and inclusion. As you all know, this is something that's been in the news lately. It has been something that's very expensive as well for a lot of companies. And let me do a little quick introduction. My name is Joan B. Townsend. And I am a consultant, a life coach, and I just want to scratch the surface on DEI, diversity, equity, and inclusion. Now, workplace diversity is something that we want to think that we're doing, but we're not necessarily always doing or participating in. Now, diversity is, of course, differences, similarities, values, beliefs, preferences, behaviors, backgrounds, and experiences. But we need all of it in the workplace in order to make our groups function effectively and efficiently. So for the similarities, those are easy to determine because we get along, we are able to cooperate with each other and collaborate very easily. But our differences, well, that might be just a little problem. But the differences is what I think makes us better. Because what you think and what I think can be two different things, two different thoughts, two different ideas, two different concepts, two different theories. But if we're able to come together and find some type of just equal ground in that, where we can, in fact, create something of substance. So maybe our values are a little different. It's okay. We don't all come from the same places. We didn't all have the same experiences growing up. So our values, even being different, can, in fact, be very valuable because we each will bring something different to the table. If your beliefs are a little different from my beliefs, that's okay. Because I'm able to look inside of you and determine and find and pull out something that I can take and use. And you should be able to do the same with me. Preferences. I might prefer yogurt. You might prefer ice cream. That's okay. It's your preference and you have the right to it. Mine is my preference, and I have the right to it. It doesn't make either of them wrong or right. It just simply makes it is. So our behaviors will, of course, be different as well. Someone can be type A, and someone can be very laid back. But we still, as working professionals, should be able to come together with that and create a wonderful team, a successful team, regardless of the background differences. Maybe you went to private school, prep school. Maybe I went to public school. It doesn't matter. We should be able to bring what we have been taught in our education and our backgrounds and our behaviors to the table to create, again, a successful team. Experiences. Maybe you've traveled around the world. Maybe I've traveled around the world. Maybe I've never traveled to some place that you've been. Maybe you've been to Hong Kong. Maybe I've been to Dubai. But we should be able to come together with whatever experiences that we have and be able to create, again, a successful team. Now, workplace inclusion is something that might not always happen, but it should. If you're going to spend the time, the money, the effort to onboard someone into your organization, why not welcome them to the table? You already know what they're qualified to do. You already know that. You've seen their resume. You know what schools they went to. You know what job background they've had. You know what they have the capacity to do. Welcome them into the group, into the circle. Respect what they have to say. Don't discount people just simply because you don't like how they're being presented at that particular time or moment. Respect what they have to say. You just spent a lot of time and a lot of money onboarding them, so give them the opportunity to, in fact, offer what you're paying them to offer. Support what they're saying. If you give them support with respect, with welcoming them to the organization, to the group, to the division, then you will absolutely positively get an opportunity to get the best from that person. If you show them that they are valued, if you show them value by supporting what they're saying, what they're offering, if you respect what they're offering, what they're saying, then chances are you will have an engaged employee that will be willing to go beyond what you expect. If in fact, you simply include them in the dynamics of the organization. Now, this goes into creating group unity. You want your group to be absence of negative conflict due to personal issues. If you have an issue with that individual and it's on a personal level, don't bring that to the professional group. Cohesiveness of ability to agree to disagree is something that you must learn and learn quickly in order to have a successful group. Knowledge sharing for group tasks is a must. It's a must. You can no longer hold trade secrets to your chest. If there are, in fact, 7 steps in order to complete a certain task, please do not give 4 of those 7. Give all 7 steps so that this particular project, in any project, can be carried out successfully, quickly, and we're on to the next task. Collective knowledge, collective information. We want group unity. We need group unity. Now, equity, that's also an issue. And again, this is just surface. I'm only scratching the surface with this talk. Racial equity, I'm going to repeat what I just said earlier. You already know what race this individual is. When you bring this individual into your organization, into your fold, you knew from start that this person was brown, red, green, yellow, purple, or blue. You knew that. Why go through all the steps that you went through, pay all the money that you're paying to bring them into the organization to not use them because of their race? And to show racial inequity towards them. What sense does that make? I'm just scratching the surface once again. But you knew that when you interviewed them, you knew that prior to them receiving the offer. So here's the deal. Let it go. Let racial inequality go. It shouldn't matter what skin color an individual is if they're qualified to do the job. Let them do, obviously, what you're paying them to do. Now, talking about pay, for pay gaps, here's another situation with inequality. If you have John, who's being paid $100,000, and you've got Sally, that's getting only $75,000 to do the very same job that John is doing, would she be correct if she pulled back a quarter of what she's producing because you're paying her a quarter less than what you're paying John? Should you expect for her to produce what he's producing? Now, the last thing with equity that we're going to talk about, and again, this is just surface, bullying. If you have an employee that is being bullied and nothing is being done about it, eventually what's going to happen is that employee is going to stop being engaged, stop wanting to come to work, actually probably stop coming. All types of excuses, being late, half doing the job, all because they have someone that's making things uncomfortable for them. Deal with the bully. Bullying has to stop. If you have a child in school, it's the same concept. And some other child is bullying your child, that child is not going to want to go to school, not going to want to be in any of the social events. They're going to pull back. That is the same way that an adult employee acts. They stop wanting to be a part of whatever is going on in the organization in order to get that organization to bounce forward. They're eventually going to leave, but until they get the courage to leave, you're not going to get the productivity out of that individual that you would if you didn't have this bully. Deal with your bully. Get your bully into some type of psychological counseling classes, learning and development with emotional intelligence. Teach them how to deal with people, and even think about removing them from that position. Maybe that's not a position that's for them. So there's so many different things that can be done with this situation, with all these situations. So take a look at the various strategies that's out there to help you deal with equity. Now, the social exchange theory is one that I think is a wonderful opportunity for today's employers and employees to take advantage of. Teams, not individuals, for example. This is not a one-man show. If you're the manager of this particular department, this is not just you in the department. You have a group of people that's in this department with you. Act like it. Allow them to bring to that table what they are employed to bring. Chances are, if you have a very good team, you don't have everybody on the team doing the same thing. You've got different people offering different skills and tasks. And as they offer those different skills and different tasks, you create a collective. So the group becomes one. You have to operate as a team, not as an individual. Collaboration, not competitiveness within the group. You have to be able to collaborate. You have to be able to exchange ideas, thoughts, and concepts. You have to be able to get along. Information sharing. What can you offer to Jim over here? Jim probably needs that information in order to make his project more presentable to the group, so that the group as a whole can benefit from Jim's information. But he's missing this one piece that he can't figure out. You have it, you know it. Share that information. This is a team, it's a group, it's not individualized. We're working from home, from all over the globe. We're working with people all over the globe. So we have to information share. Share what you know. We're not in competition with you knowing more than I, or I know more than you. Information sharing is needed. Experimentation. We want to try different things. Find out if this works or that works. If it doesn't work, that's okay. Take the information that you use to arrive at that conclusion, add something to it, take something from it, of course, create something that will work. But if you don't experiment, if you don't try, you won't know. You're learning, you're developing. That's what all of this is. It's being able to collaborate, information share, learn, develop, experiment. When you experiment, if it doesn't work, again, keep in mind you're learning, you're developing, and you're growing, and the organization is too, because you are trying new things. That is my surface information on diversity, equity, and inclusion. I thank you for listening. And if you have any suggestions or recommendations, please send them to joan@youdeserve.org. And you enjoy your day.